What's up, everyone? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. We're coming at you with a super spicy episode 327, and we're recording on May 5th, 2025. I'm Doug, and joining me today, we got Warren.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And Anita.
Hello.
As a quick reminder, check out SojuTalk on your favorite podcast platform, sub to us on YouTube, join the SojuTalk Discord, and be a part of the nation. Get involved in some scoring. All right. Announcements / other things this week. So first thing, in the After Hours segment, Warren has prepared the worst K-pop song World Cup. So we're not gonna pick like the absolute worst song ever.
Yeah.
But he compiled a bunch of what people consider bad K-pop songs, and we're
Quote,
gonna
unquote. Yeah,
like the famously bad ones, and we're gonna do it a World Cup to pick which one's the worst out of them. That's that.
Is it Jopping? Is it Gnarly? Is it Oh? Come and find out. I have the other bit of the announcement. I have released my second ever EP on all music platforms now.
Yay.
It is an instrumental album. It is about 12 minutes long. It's called When the Cold Leaves the Air by SEO Soden. SEO space SODEN. It's like
It's good.
instrumental hip hop, instrumental botanica, instrumental rock. I don't know what to fucking tell you, man. And it sounds like Anita and Doug liked it, so hopefully you guys like it.
Yeah,
too.
it's nice.
Yeah,
It's nice.
thank you. We have about 4 days of spring left, so enjoy it while you can. That's what. Yeah, it should be on every streaming platform. I'll link it down below in the comments. That is all. Thank you so much. Back to you, Douglas.
Right. Big new releases. Y'all probably want us to talk about the first song, KATSEYE Gnarly. We got RIIZE with this confusing ass title. Bag, Bad, Back is what it's called. We have TXT Love Language as well. Start at the top. KATSEYE Gnarly. They are from Hybe UMG / Geffen. Other two songs are Touch and Debut. If you are anywhere on the K-pop internets or anywhere like that, it's been ablaze with talk about Gnarly for the entire last week, right? This is a big talking point.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Discussion starter, yeah.
I don't know how to start this discussion,
Oh.
but I'm just gonna get to my
Sure.
my thesis before we get.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
Great performance. Somewhat catchy song, shit lyrics.
Ah.
I feel like that's a very positive spin on
That
this.
sums it up.
For me, that's how I feel about it.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
the performance.
Okay.
I think the song's honestly kind of catchy at times, but the lyrics are god awful.
Let's start there. What do you not like about the lyrics? Let's get them out of the way. What are these one-liners we don't like? Do we not like gang gang gang, or do we not like gnarly?
Too many gangs, too many Takis are like Takis are the shit.
Oh,
You know,
like
I don't like
Takis.
that.
I'm the shit.
I really dislike the mention of Tesla, but we could talk about that later. I think
Yeah.
that's ridiculous. I think like making beats for a boring dumb bitch.
Oh
I
my-
think is wild.
I hate that
You know?
line. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
That is so ironic that you would lead with that line and put an actual with a group with an actual producer on it too. Like it's so cannibalistically ironic that Jesus. Let's talk about the word gnarly. It's a word.
Alright.
It's for our international audiences or like our slightly older audiences, including the three of us here. It carries two meanings. It could be the good shit or the bad shit. You know what I mean? Like it could go both ways. You know? But like
The only place I've seen gnarly used, right? Like here's an example. Let me paint the word puzzle real quick. Hold
Yeah.
on, keep going. If someone's like surfing or skateboarding, right?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
they pull off a trick or a move and they almost fall, but it was still kind of fun. You go, man, that was pretty gnarly, wasn't
Yeah.
it? You know?
Yeah.
That's how you kind of use it.
Like I'm pretty active in the beat making community, as is now obvious and per the intro of the show. People say like, "Oh, that beat is gnarly as hell." People say that. Like that is a thing people say. It's something I'll see on like Reddit or like like TikTok or like these social medias and
So it's mostly positive.
Right.
I would say
Yes.
then.
Right, but like, it's like the word shit. It also carries the flip side where it's like, oh man, dude, that is gnarly as hell. Get that shit out of way. You know what I mean? Like it can go both ways, and you're relying on contextual clues to kind of figure out which way it goes.
Correct.
Now the issue is like the song has trouble figuring out like which direction it wants to stick to, and like the way it like flip flops back and forth. Doesn't really have a pattern, doesn't really have contextual helpers, it doesn't really have any meaning behind it, the intention isn't clear, and I feel like the intro is very, you know what I mean? Like, fried chicken, Tesla, and then what's the other one?
Bubble tea.
Bubble tea. Like, are we supposed to hate all those three or like all those three? Because, like, Tesla was very popular in 2023, but not now. And, like, AOG hates bubble... Yeah, sorry, you do your thing.
Okay, 2023. So what you're referencing there is the fact that the lyricist Alice Longyu Gao, basically, there's some TikToks out where she collabed with the Chainsmokers with pretty much the real majority of the lyrics of the song, right?
Like the first 30 or so seconds of the song, yeah.
There's another TikTok with some more too.
Oh, really? I didn't see that
yeah,
one.
really? I
Yeah.
haven't
there's a
seen
second
it.
one. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure I've seen it now. So yeah, so a lot of the song was already in the works in 2023,
Okay.
right? And since this song came out, because everyone's talking about the song, she's released TikToks explaining why like boba tea is gnarly and why fried chicken's gnarly. Those are the two TikToks she released. Both of them very negative connotations based on her stories.
She doesn't like
That's
any
what I
of them. Okay.
gathered.
She doesn't like those
Yeah.
things. So in her mind, when she was writing these lyrics, these are all things I don't like. So saying I don't like Tesla, that kind of makes sense, right? But but I understand that once she explained it. For KATSEYE, when she's saying fried chicken's gnarly, boba tea's gnarly, I'm thinking I kind of like fried chicken. I like bubble tea. And then you say Tesla, and I'm like, ooh, you know what I mean?
Right.
On face value.
Like, okay, from like Alice's perspective, being someone who has like a Chinese background, I totally get why she doesn't like bubble tea. Like, I have met several international Chinese kids who are like, oh, bubble tea's empty calories. It's terrible for you.
That's her literal story. Is
Right.
1 week I drank a shit ton of bubble tea and I gained a bunch of weight, so I don't like it.
Right. That's totally fair. But on the flip side of it, we also realize bubble tea is like incredibly popular with the current Asian American diaspora.
Yeah.
So like saying bubble tea is gnarly, immediately in my head goes to, ooh, bubble tea good, gnarly good. And then there's like several shots of them positively enjoying their Costco branded, you know, popping bubble tea. You know what I mean? Like it's so combined with the Tesla word drop, I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of fucking sense.
Yeah, like, and people are arguing like, no, they're saying they don't like Tesla. I get that once we analyze this and we find out context, sure. But when you first listen to the song, I'm like, are they giving Tesla a shout out? Was initially what a lot of people thought. And in 2025, that's wild. And my overarching feeling about this, now that it's had time to settle, I've gotten context, is I think it's really unfortunate that they felt that in order to get people talking, we got to mention Tesla, considering all the stuff Elmo's been doing lately. I think it's like a cheap like gag to get people to talk about your song.
I mean, at the end of the day, okay, I'm gonna be completely honest and speak to the other half of the country who think what he's doing is fine. Sure, you know what, you are fine to think that way, but you also have to recognize that there is a large chunk of the K-pop community that is not pleased with what he's doing, myself included, Doug here included. And like
vast majority of K-pop listeners.
Yeah, like let's be fucking honest. Like dropping it in that way is like, that's, I don't know. Like, who are you reaching out to? You know what I mean? And so okay, the way they use gnarly is, I don't know. It's already kind of shit. And then on top of that, you have all these random AAVE, you know, overused slang terms. I'm the shit, gang. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like that whole bridge where they go, gnarly. That thing felt so uncreative and so terribly uninspired. I don't know. It's terrible. I don't know.
That's my favorite part of the song, though. That's the only part that gets me hyped.
It's the only part of the song that has any recognizable, meaningful melody, and even that is like overused bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, okay.
How do you feel about this gnarly usage before we keep going?
Well, no, I think we're summing it up pretty pretty well. I think we explained how the context was kind of lost a bit as it went from the original writer and producer to KATSEYE as a group. I've seen some comments on Reddit and YouTube and whatnot saying that it would have been better to like rework the lyrics, make it more appropriate to the group, maybe more personal to them. Because as it stands, and it seems that it hasn't changed much based on the TikToks that you saw, Doug, it's still very much personal to
It's Alice's story, not KATSEYE's story.
Yeah,
like,
experience, right?
KATSEYE, maybe now they're partying in the Hollywood Hills, but it's not like that is their thing. You know, it's not.
Right.
No, yeah.
So I don't know. I think that I can kind of understand it now, but it's I don't know. I kind of feel that aside from the lyrics, aside from the context that was lost, it I don't know. I feel like it lacked. I think Warren is getting to this too. It just lacked a little something to just make it catchier or like more
palatable.
Yeah, I think yeah, the instrumental in the verses, right?
Well,
so I'm not talking about the pre-chorus and the chorus, but like in the verses, it feels very empty in a way. Like you hear the industrial sounds and that sort of stuff, and that's fine, but because it's there's space, I want to say. I that's the term I'm leaning towards. You pay a lot of attention to the vocals. You pay a lot of attention to the lyrics, and the fact that it's pretty weak, that it's not as substantial, makes it more apparent that it's not good.
Okay.
So like, I don't know. I feel like they're not helping each other, the instrumental or the lyrics.
Let's pivot away from the lyrical theme, and we'll return to it later because there's a couple more things I want to say. But let's talk about the beat real quick, right? Like it follows a pretty standard hyper pop formula for a lot of intents and purposes here. It really feels like the version of hyper pop that was popular somewhere between 7 to 5 years ago. It sounds pretty dated, not gonna lie. It sounds like something you would hear on YouTube a lot during that point. That goes along the lines of Charlie type beat, Sophie type beat. I'm talking Face Shop. I'm talking like Vroom Vroom by Charlie, which put her back on the map. A version in K-pop, within K-pop, like 24 Hours by ITZY, which was a great track. I liked. Sophie was on it. Followed a similar. There were similarities in the arrangement. It's minimal to the point where like you are focusing on things you don't really focus on with normal pop songs, but then you really extenuate and extremify and push things to the border, the way normal pop doesn't. That's where the word hyper pop came from. You strip things away and then put everything to the max, you go back and forth. Contrast, extreme, like you get the idea, right? The issue is this formula became so dated so quickly, and we kind of moved on from this kind of music. Charlie, everyone knows kind of, yes, she still channeled that hyper pop influence, but Brat was not hyper pop. It had that energy, but completely something else. If you speak of Alice Longiga, who is like the producer, or she co-wrote a large chunk of this track. She herself in her last album she was very praised. She was praised a lot for doing a very good job of taking this genre that feels a little stagnant and kind of boring now and giving it a new twist in her own way and kind of showing how this genre can evolve out of something that feels a little dated at this point. That's where people really like the Let's Hope Heteros Fail, Learn and Retire album. That's a mouthful. That's the name of the album. Great album.
Dang.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. I am very familiar with the space. I understand what the sound, I understand the aesthetic they're going for. It just feels wildly dated to say we're going to be doing this kind of hyperpop now in 2025. We had a good run back in the day with Savage 2021. Like, there were other folks
that
doing
reference
it
too.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Like, using knife sounds as a percussion. Okay, like, speak less. That is a cliche of the genre. But like, it's a little dated. That's all I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
Well, another thing I wanted to say is that this So this particular sound is like we've heard it before. It had its minute, right? Like it had its spot in the limelight a bit. In pop, I want to say.
Yeah.
I also feel like the way it's presented. How should I say? I feel like the instrumental that I hear and the visuals that I see, I feel like the visuals were trying to match the hyper pop aesthetic in a way, like distortion and like very crazy edits and like things that are happening in the music video, right? But to me, I don't know, it didn't feel quite as authentic to what I usually think a hyperpop visual is, because it's not meant to be like,
I agree
or
with
at least
Nina.
from what I've seen.
Yeah,
it's not
same.
meant to
If
be
you-
like super high quality.
If you take out a couple of the gags, like Megan getting her butt slapped, right? It's kind of a basic ass music video. Straight up.
Yeah.
Like there's a certain
In a
part
way.
in like the one of the build up parts when they're in like a limo thing, right? And it's
Right.
building up dun 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 dun. There's no like excitement. If you play that shit on mute, they're just driving in a car. Nothing exciting's happening really in this car.
I guess
For
like
this type of I don't know.
see the scenes where like the flies fucking and shit, like and then the old Asian man making the face, like sure I might have found
Creepy.
Yeah, like I might have found that funny if I was 12, but like I don't know, like I'm not 12 anymore. What do you want me to do? Let's come back to the intent. Sorry, the beat real quick. It might have been one thing if it's a good remake of like that era of like industrial hyper pop kind of sound, or something new we saw before. But like it really feels, it's neither interesting nor complex nor like there's nothing really much I'm getting here other than they tried to emulate that sound and pull together a type beat within 30 minutes of using Ableton. This is where like I understand the beat might be interesting for a lot of folks, but like as someone who's been like listening to this kind of music for a while, it is the most boring generic shit I could pull out in 2025. You know what I mean? That being said, I know the beat works for a lot of people. So like if you were one of those folks, like don't let me ruin your fun.
It's negative about the beat. I'm having a good time with the beat.
Yeah,
I thought it was exciting.
I don't mind the beat. I think it could have how should I say it? Like I don't mind it. I think it's fun. I enjoyed it. It's just because of other elements in the song. I don't think it is helped. Does that make sense? I don't think it adds
You know what doesn't
a
help?
plus. Yeah.
Laura's second part, the making beats part. You're gnarly. I'm not. My like 2-year-old cousin could have wrote those lyrics, dude. Like, what are we doing? That's when I was like, okay, I've listened to the song probably 100 times now, right?
Wow,
So
okay.
I'm honestly I'm giving this a high. Later, I'm gonna give this a higher score than I did initially, for sure.
Okay,
Good on you. I hope the score of it.
Good on you.
I thought the Tesla thing was terrible. I'll talk about what I think is the most ridiculous part of this whole thing later. But like that part to me, I just can't handle, dude. I think it's really bad.
I mean, I'm with you. The whole making beats for a boring dumb bitch part is I don't know what to say. Whether she is directing that towards the fans or whether she's directing that towards people who don't enjoy the sound, it doesn't bode well either way. You're either calling your fans a boring dumb bitch or admitting that you're making shitty beats. I don't know what to tell you. It's the fact that she makes beats herself is just makes it worse. I don't know why people are using that as a defender. It's just, you know what I mean?
That plus the amount of gangs, dude. Like we don't need that many gangs. Oh my god.
Okay, let's talk about why. We've talked plenty about what this is and how this
I
is.
have a figure why.
Yeah?
Like, yeah, I have a good
What do you
sense.
think?
Go for it.
Okay,
Go for it.
they're having another comeback in the summer. I'm pretty sure I've heard, like
Oh, are they?
June or July, something like that. So some people are number one. People are coping and saying this is a pre-release. Don't judge it too hard. No, we're gonna judge what it is, right? That's my
It's not a pre-release,
But-
folks. It's a normal
it's not,
release.
It's not. but people think they're gonna come back with another song in the summer. I lost my train of thought, but I get it. I think the intent is they just wanted to be as provocative as possible, and you know what? If that's what they're going for, it worked because that's all. This is all people are talking about. Still,
Here's the thing. Like, let's step back for a second. Like, people have given different interpretations as to what this is. I've seen comments say they're just being badass. They're just doing whatever they want. Nobody gives a shit. The thing is, like, their delivery of it is too silly to be taken seriously for me. If they want to be badass, they need to look badass. I don't think this is coming off badass, especially when you're like this off trend, right? People have said this is funny, take it lightly, you guys are being too serious, it's supposed to be campy comedy. Sure, but like my argument towards that is like, shouldn't comedy be funny? I don't know. Like, this isn't funny. Just,
hey, have you seen how hard Danielle is dancing? This shit ain't funny to her. You know?
Yeah.
This is serious.
Okay,
This is
performance
serious.
wise, they're killing it.
Oh yeah, the performance is great.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's just the rest.
I mean, while we're on that topic, like visually, I think some of the members look great. Like Sophia, I think like
yeah,
looks
styling.
great.
Yeah,
I think
Sophia great.
Yeah.
I like Bacon's new
That's the
hair.
right vibe.
Manong looks great.
They all look great.
I-
Dancing's great.
Feels weird having underage members twerk on beat, but like whatever, I guess. Like that's
That's a whole other can of worms.
yeah. We're not even gonna go there. We have plenty of cans here. Now the third argument I've seen a lot with like a couple of folks who are like trying to use this as a gotcha moment. People are saying this is satire, like critical satire, like satirical against the state of social media, critical against the state of pop music and the way it's over commercialized and that sort of thing. And you know what? I don't not see your point. Like I can see what point you're trying to make
Be
here.
convinced.
Right. I understand your logic. I just think it doesn't make a lot of sense because, like, on one hand, this is literally the release from the two of the biggest pop music production labels. All of K-pop is like industry plants, and this is by far the craziest example of that. And you know what? I typically don't have an issue with that, but if you want to present yourself as someone who is being satirical of the pop industry, you can't be the result of like, you know what I mean? It is very cannibalistic if you start going down that route.
So you're saying it's like you can't be satirical when you're posting this on the 77 million subscriber Hype Labels channel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Going back to Alice, it makes sense for Alice to do this because she completely comes from a different context and presents music in a completely different way. She is making music. She is making beats for whatever dumb bitch out there. You know what I mean? So, and on top of that, if you want to call this satire, like, I think it needs to be a little better at being satirical. Like, it needs to be a little more interesting in terms of like what it's doing. It needs to be a little more clear in what you are satirizing. There have been lots of satirical hyperpop music that have, I don't know, been fun to listen to. Hey Cutie is what put hyperpop on the map. Hey Cutie by AJ Cook with I forget the name of the artist. It was a meme back in the day on YouTube, but it's one of the first releases from PC Music. That shit is so satirical to a point where they have like product placements of like fake energy drinks. This one literally again has a product placement from fucking bubble tea. You can't just, you know what I mean?
And they called bubble tea bad.
Yeah.
Apparently, right at the beginning.
What do you?
Right?
And like,
Yeah, technically, I guess.
if you turn ad block off, because I've seen this music video on my TV where like I don't have ad block. It starts with a bubble tea ad from the same brand that we just looked at in the music video.
Oh, damn.
So my question to you is, do you want us to think this is satire? Because that just makes it worse. What do you want me to feel
I heard
here?
another thing.
Sure.
I heard another thing. So like the bubble tea thing, I kind of get. But I saw another comment on Reddit saying like it's another level of problematic in the sense that if they're really alluding to what was it? Fried Chicken
Yeah.
as Gnarly. Apparently, they're also collaborating with Jollibee
Bro.
as a brand. I don't know if that's true or not, but I saw that comment somewhere. So I feel like it's difficult.
That's
to
a rumored
take-
collab. Rumored collab.
A rumor, rumor,
okay.
not confirmed.
Thank God.
But if still it adds, if true, it would add to that idea of is it satire? Is it satire momentarily just for the song because you're obviously doing different things outside of it?
I
as
don't
an
think they
artist.
thought about this nearly as much as people are speculating. That's
That's
my
what I
take
think
on
too.
this.
Yeah.
If you want to get deep and say this is satire, you're just eating yourself out here, man. This is that you are not this. That is not the shield you want to put up. So this makes me go back to the point Doug was making. It really feels like this is less of a song out. This feels less like a song release and more like performative marketing. This whole thing.
That's what it feels like to me.
Everyone's
Maybe
channels
we'll-
is filled
Yeah.
with fucking discussion about Gnarly right now. All the fucking subreddits on K-pop, my social feeds, our podcast. This is our 25th minute talking about this fucking song.
Dang.
So I guess it's working, but like,
Hey, I've never seen a K-pop music video with such mixed reviews in the comment section too. That was the first time I've seen this ever. My last point I want to make before we pivot is the sad thing about the song. With its 2-minute and 21-second runtime, this music video, it is
Dang.
KATSEYE's longest music video out of the 3 songs they've released. We got
I don't know
Debut
anymore.
215, Touch 219, Gnarly 221, which is absolutely diabolical that it's this short. Like, it's crazy.
I'm gonna be completely honest and like be complete transparent. Like typically when I put out a bad review, I wrap it up saying, "Hey, I think it's a one-off thing. I am kind of still excited for their next release. I hope they get." I put out that whole little spiel, and I mean it every time. With KATSEYE, I don't know if I can take this group seriously or this whole company. Like,
Well, yeah.
like this, a lot of this is there's a lot of shared similarities between the criticism I just put out and the stuff I said about Crazy by Le Surf back in a couple months ago. The way it feels over commercialized, the way it doesn't have any self-awareness about what it's doing, the way it is using its industry position to kind of, fill up the space with meaningless, terrible music bullshit. I don't know. It really pisses me off. I'm not gonna lie.
If their next track isn't like weird too, I'm gonna be even more disappointed, to be honest.
You want
You know
them to
what I mean?
double down?
If they come back with another just generic, like, nice pleasant song like Touch, I'm gonna judge them even more on this, because like if they're not fully committed to doing this, I don't think it's right that this came out. Do you know what I mean?
Oh.
Like, I think this is the bed they've made. They gotta sleep in it now.
I don't completely
I hope
agree
at
with that,
least.
given like there's no similarity between the songs they've put out. They're between Debut and Touch and this.
No.
just confused. I'm
I
confused
said
in
that
the
under the
direction.
preface that if this is just a viral marketing plan,
Yeah.
right? I'm gonna be disappointed if they don't follow through on it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay. I guess, sure. If you want to be the group that does terrible, shitty, campy, hyper pop music, you do you. I guess.
I'll be more
Yeah.
disappointed if this is a one-off, because I'm like, I guess you weren't really committed to this. That's how I feel about it. But that's just me. Y'all might not feel like that. Some of you like this song, which is great. We're all allowed to make our opinions about these songs and like them. We've had so much fun discussion about this song, from the shock of it coming out to people, turning coat and saying, this ain't that bad. We've had all range of people talking about the song on our server. It's been a lot of fun. Honestly, it's been kind of fun. We haven't had such like a quote unquote like bad song release in a while, right?
It's been a minute, yeah.
There's been a lot of fun conversation surrounding this one. Yeah. Pivot time? Pivot?
We've
Pivot,
spent 30
pivot.
minutes on this song. Let's pivot.
All right, let's pivot to a pre-release from RIIZE. Bag, Bad, Back. I don't know what's up with this name. They're from SM. Last 3 songs, Combo, Boom Boom Bass, Impossible. Notably, this is like the first release since the Seunghan stuff.
It is,
right?
yeah.
I'm gonna mention that at the end of this discussion for like 10 seconds. On face value, I kind of like this song. Like,
Yeah.
I really like
bad.
this,
It's not
this
bad.
bag thing. Whatever they're doing here, bag, bag. I was like, okay, okay. It kind of reminded me of how like, okay, so Travis Scott, right? I'm going real far. Travis Scott has done a
Okay.
collab with WWE recently. Like he's
Oh.
appeared everywhere. He even made an appearance at WrestleMania. And that fiend thing has been in my head all the time.
Thought of that too.
And now it's being replaced with bag. That so like to me, I don't know, it's just scratching something in my head. I don't know why, but it is.
Anita, do you want to add to that?
Well, that's the thing though. I thought of a couple weeks back. We also had another song. It was called "Breathe" by Psychers, who also had a very repetitive chorus, right? Like in that case, the word was "breathe," but it's that type of vibe, right? It's very like it's supposed to be hype. It's supposed to be very hip hop based. I think this I don't know. I don't think it's a bad song. I just don't think it's as hype as it could be or as it was intended to be. I don't know. I think it's still pleasant. I think it has moments where I really appreciated the vocals because they added a bit of a break in between the more rap heavy sections. I don't know. I think it definitely sets the tone for maybe what they're trying to do in the actual title track. Although I also think it's probably going to be completely different. So I don't know. It's fun. I think the choreo is fun. The vibe is fun. I don't think it goes as hard as it could go or as it maybe intended to be, but maybe that's the point.
It really reminded me of the track called Go or Ka from Illinois Records back in the day. This is Doki Do Quiet Bean Zeno from 20. This is from the 1111 album, so like this is like 2013 or something like that. It's a little more popular through the Bobby version that dropped in Show Me the Money 3, which also had a similar chorus of ga 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 katekaji, and like it also had a similarity in the beat where like there's like this constant quarter note ba, 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 with the bass, which is also present in this track where the bass has this constant quarter note bum 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 bum, which gives it a really good drive in the track. Like I definitely agree that there isn't really a huge point where like there's an explosion of energy or anything like that. I don't even think they're trying to do that. If anything, at some certain points, I thought they were very chill and almost laid back. But because of that beat, I feel like there's a lot of drive there. It never really drags. It keeps itself going forward. You know what I mean? So I thought that was really nice. Spoke about the vocals. I'm not going to touch upon that too much. With the rappers, I honestly felt like there was a little more they could have done. Not gonna lie. Personally, between the way the rap was written and the performance, I thought Sung Chun's part was very good in the very beginning. In top of the first verse, I thought that was the strongest rap verse there is. Very short, very sweet, very quick. Everything else was passable, but I don't know, for a track like this, where I expect some crazy flows or I don't know, something. I don't know. I felt like I was left desiring a little more. I'm not gonna lie. Which goes back to how I feel about RIIZE. Is like RIIZE, I feel like hasn't been a group where I've been particularly impressed with the rap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Rap. Okay.
Right, with the rap.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say with their songs. I'm like, you shut your mouth. That's what you're gonna say.
Like I'm pretty sure you like love
I was gonna say
119.
shut your mouth.
Just the rapping. I like Love 119, Love Impossible. There's stuff I liked from them, but like with Odyssey, I feel like they diversified beyond what they're capable of or what they're comfortable with a little far. And at certain points, it feels like they're trying new stuff, trying something that feels a little more adjacent to something NCT was doing a couple of years ago, which makes sense. I see RIIZE as like NCT's like little brother almost, given like
Oh yeah, they have 2X members.
yeah. That being said, I also think of it from the flip side, where like, is it good that I feel that way? Where like I am unable to distinguish between like the multiple boy groups we have under the SM umbrella right now, sonically. If I think about RIIZE, what really put them on the radar for me was not just them being from SM, but like the way they marketed themselves as emotional pop. That's the genre they started pushing with back in the day. And sure, that's marketing lingo, but like I could see what they meant with that. And this just kind of feels like they ran with like a track that didn't make it into NCT 2022 or some shit, which isn't bad, but like it isn't good. You disagree?
I think one of the calling cards for RIIZE right now, relative to NCT, is I think RIIZE has been extremely choreography focused.
That's
like,
fair.
A lot more than what I would think NCT is.
Yeah.
Like, especially like, you see my boy Wonbin in his tank top, looking a little sweaty, dude. The dancing was really on point in this music video, I thought.
Why did you point out the fact that he's sweaty?
they all literally got the sweat stain going on, dude. Koreans don't sweat this much, dude. This is something else.
Oh, you don't know that? What?
Hey, all I'm saying is these like whoever choreographed this, especially the bag part, did a fantastic job.
Nice.
I thought
nice.
Really enhanced the song, and they held a lot of these choreo shots for a long time. I'm always a fan of that for sure. KATSEYE did too. They held a lot of choreo shots, which I think really helps both of those songs. Going back to KATSEYE, if they didn't have a good dance sequence, this shit would have been like in the basement. But glad they at least did a good performance. But here in Bag, also a great performance thing, and they do that things where they're in a dance studio and they do the far shot with the mirror. I thought that was a good shot as well. I don't know. I agree. The rapping's not the best, but I thought the performance and the vibe of the chorus, it just kind of worked. I know that this Bag part could have been repetitive, but I've been having a good time with it.
Yeah. No, I understand the vibe. I understand what they're going for, and I think it works still in a way. Maybe I kind of, after hearing it right a couple of times since it was released, I think it could have been a little bit more, because I think the choreo adds a lot of that energy to the song that I think the song should have on its own. But I don't know. They're great performers. They released a practice video of this, and it looks really good. I don't know. I think it still lacked just a little bit, and maybe that's also high expectations coming off of the run they had with Boom Boom Bay's Impossible, where I thought the energy matched maybe a little more with the choreography. But I was gonna say the concept they have going on is interesting, right? Because I think the lyrics are kind of like the journey, the self-reflective, like working hard type of theme. And I thought the choice to focus on like a training room and like working hard physically, like literally, was nice. Because I mean, they're not like freshly debuted, like they've been around for a bit already, but also in the context of like the controversy that happened and all that stuff. I feel like, okay, I can see why. I thought it was fitting in a way and like worked around that theme. So the package is pretty good. I just wished it was a little more.
I want to say one more thing before we pivot, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get real meta for a second. SojuTalk meta.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm not. Let me preface this. I'm not accusing anyone, right?
Oh, where is this going?
Damn. Okay. Who are you accusing?
I'm not accusing anyone. But I have a belief that some people are sandbagging the scores RIIZE are getting because of the Seunghan stuff. Like, that's my thought.
Oh, in our system, in our voting system.
Yeah, in our system. I have like a distinct feeling. Like, I'm not calling anyone else. I'm not going to call out any names. But let's just say, like, I looked at some of the lower end scores between RIIZE, and I compared them to the scores TXT got from certain individuals.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 7-point difference.
That's a big difference. I don't know.
Yeah, and to compound it, these are like accounts that have never typed anything on the server. In like the couple year or so they've been on the server, a couple of them. Well, I'm not gonna throw anything out, but if you're doing that, please don't. That's all I'm saying. Please don't. It doesn't help anything by doing that.
I mean, I'm gonna guess that if you're doing this on the server, like you're probably doing something similar outside our community as well.
Yeah.
It is worth noting that the remaining 6 folks, they probably don't deserve whatever you just did there.
That's my takeaway.
Yeah.
It's tough to differentiate.
Yeah. Don't do it. Be cool. Don't do it if you're doing it. If you're not, if you actually think there's a 7 to 8 point difference between RIIZE and TXT, let's talk about it. That's interesting, right? I want to know why.
Yeah.
I want to know why you feel that way. So that's my my meta section.
Song.
Let's pivot.
Is song. Yeah. Love language.
Song's a song. Let's go to TXT Love Language. They are from Big Hit. They have tracks Over the Moon, Deja Vu, and Chasing That Feeling are the last couple songs from them. This is a non-album release. They just dropped it. It's a non-album single.
Good for them. Drop singles. Yeah, do your thing.
They decided to go to an Italian chateau and just tax write it off by filming a music video. It feels like, right?
Summer, yeah.
Dude, literally, one of my, by the way, like, speaking of an Italian chateau, one of the YouTubers I like, Eddie Burbank, he literally went on an Italian vacation, and you could tell it's just a giant tax write-off the video he made. It's kind of insane.
I mean, didn't he admit to it at a certain point? Maybe I'm making that up. Yeah.
I mean, the preface of that video was, is the Italian food better in Italy or at Olive Garden in America? And then he literally just made a video about that. Well, it's entirely a tax write-off. I don't know. I'm not accusing TXT of doing a tax write-off here, but they had a nice vacation in an Italian villa, it looks like.
Good. Why not?
Yeah. As long as that video, go check out that video because it has a serious turn at near the end. And it's like, it gets deep. I don't know why.
Like, all of Eddie Burbank's long-form videos are just hilarious. Just go check them out. That's a shout-out to him. He's a great creator.
Well, Love Language and Eddie Burbank have the similarity that they're filmed in Italy.
I think so. We think. I'm not even sure.
I don't know. It feels like a nice... I feel a little early to be doing summery sounds, but this feels like a summery sound. It's like a...
Oh, shit. It's filmed in Spain.
Oh,
all right, close enough.
That whole tangent.
Mediterranean summer. Mediterranean.
Hey!
Oh man.
For Hala Madrid, yeah.
I feel a little early to be doing summer dance beats, but I guess that's what we're doing here. It feels slightly dance hall, slightly amapiano inspired, which I think it's fine. If anything, I can see where they pulled off of the trend and kind of gave it this, hype treatment. I don't hate it. It's a little tropical house inspired as well. There's that little chorus drop with the vox chops, the vocal chops, which like have similarities with like tropical house, and therefore people are suddenly saying this sounds about 5-10 years old. And I'm like, I kind of see where you're going for it, but that sample is being used outside of tropical house, so I don't think it sounds particularly dated. It just sounds, I don't know, I think it sounds pretty chilled, sounds pretty driven. I don't know, I just really like the beat. It's just really just, it keeps you at it's got a little samba mood to it, which, I mean, that's what fucking dance hall is, but like,
it does. I'm not saying it's anything like the Switch, but this kind of feels like they're in their View era, like Shiny was all of a sudden. They got all summery randomly. That's what it feels like here with me. I'm not saying the songs are anything similar, but I'm talking about the pivots feel somewhat similar to me. It's like, let's just have a summer song. Let's just do it. Let's just chill
and just do something fun,
And it's pleasant. This one's nice. The singing. Dude, these dudes sing so high. It just gets higher and higher, this song. But in not like a grading way. Like I was talking about Neezy You doing like a month ago. You remember how I thought, man, that's way too high and it doesn't make sense, and not a huge fan of that. But for me on this one, it's high, but it all kind of works with the vibe they're giving off.
Well,
I thought the music video's nice too.
I do think a part of that is like the way the vocals are processed. I still feel like TXT's vocals are a little over processed for my taste. Which
that,
like
I think is fair.
Yeah, it's at this point I've come to live with it. At this point, I really can't tell if the vocals are fine or good or bad. I just really know what I mean. But the one point it does stick out is in the post chorus they do teach me all about your love language, and I'm like, okay, I don't know, man. I don't know about that. Like,
So you don't like it, or you do?
no, I don't like it. In case it was not
don't
clear,
like it,
like
okay.
the intent of Gnarly, it's just I don't know, man. It's just
Ah.
yeah. I wasn't.
I was
Can you
also
stop
thinking while
whispering in
watching
my
this
ear,
music.
please?
You know that one shot where they're like running through this random town in Spain, right? The countryside town.
Oh, is it Spain? I thought
like
it's
a-
Italy, dog.
It's Spain. What if you're like a
Spain.
Spanish grandma and you're like gonna go take a cigarette break or water your plants on your veranda, and you see a bunch of Asian dudes running by with a camera? You probably think we're getting invaded or something. You'd be so confused. You'd be so. I would
Nah.
be. Imagine you'd be. You know how confused you must be if you see that,
Bro, what do you mean
but that being said-
invaded? We're not
That being
doing
said,
that.
I'm sure this was like the talk of the town wherever they filmed it. They'd be like, "Yeah, these K-pop people are coming to film a music video here," and people are like,
Well,
"God damn, here."
The
Okay.
vibe I was getting, like, yes, like Mediterranean summer vibes, but also like very casual, like very very casual. Like, of course you know that the shots are set up and like editing happening post production and all that, but the set itself, like the styling itself, is very very casual.
Aesthetic
I
too.
kind of like that. I think it sells it even more that it's meant to be very chill, very relaxed. I don't know. I liked it.
I liked it.
Same.
I saw a
Same.
couple, I think 1 or 2 live stages, and they also like kept that styling in the performances, which I think is nice. I feel like for some reason I feel like I had not seen boy groups perform in like very casual, like just t-shirts and jeans in a while. So I don't know. I think it's nice. I think it stands out because it is so casual.
Normalize casual wear in K-pop. You know the amount of
Yeah,
times.
It's cool sometimes.
Like, okay, girl groups get casual wear pretty often, and like boy groups rarely do, and like the amount of like people on Korean K-pop Twitter that are always like, please give my boy not a weird suit, but like just fucking white t-shirt and black and blue jeans, like please. You know what I mean? People complain about that shit all the time, and like there's a subreddit
Wait.
called. Sorry, what's up?
No, go ahead.
No, there's this like subreddit called Reddit. There's this subreddit called r/K-pop fashion, and it is
Oh.
where people go to ask for advice about. Ooh, I saw this dress in this music video or in this music show. Where can I buy
Right.
this dress? And I'm like, bro, that is stage costume. You don't want to be walking around with that dress, man. Like, trust me. Like,
Wait, no, but like at least in their case, it seems very wearable. Like it's super casual
yeah,
stuff.
yes. I look forward
I'll-
to going to r/K-pop and seeing this music video and people saying, "Ooh, where can I buy this white T-shirt?" Because like,
One other thing I want to say is, sure they went to Spain, rented this nice house, but like this is like a less is more type of music video, where they very tastefully used the set they're on. Like they did a lot of cool layering. Like one guy's looking at the camera and they're kind of dancing in the background in one scene.
I like
I
those
thought the
shots.
guy playing with the apples was kind of weird, to be honest. I thought that didn't make sense. They're like, the director's probably like, "You're gonna play with these, you're gonna fiddle these apples real quick, guy." And I'm like, "Okay,
What?
I guess I'll fiddle these apples." But there's one
Fiddle?
shot, I don't know where it is in the music video, where they're dancing and there's like a lot of layers going on. They're dancing on like the second floor deck of of the building, and it just looks so aesthetic out of nowhere to me. The angle that they held there, but I really enjoyed this music video. And I think a lot of other companies could learn, like, you don't need to put a shit ton of CGI in everything, you know? Just kind of let the nice scenery speak for itself, and, you know, we could do something cool. All right. I think we're good on TXT Love Language. Let's pivot. Other releases this week include Hyuna with Miss Nail, 50/50 Pookie, UDTT debut with Really Really, Trends Chameleon, Tableau XRM with Stop the Rain, Maroon 5 Priceless featuring Lisa, Young Posse, Blue Dot, which is a B-side. All right. We're at SojuScore. Last week on episode 326, we gave Mark's 1999 a 6.16. We gave Eunice Swiss a 7.49 and
Damn
entered
right
the Hall
we
of
did.
Spice.
Yeah.
We had Kiki Groundwork with a 5.84, and we had Meow with Hands Up at a 5.80. Mentioning Meow for a second. My rant might have been a little bit preemptive. They're on everything right now.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I've seen them on every single. They're on Jim Jongkook. They're on Daesung show. They're absolutely all over the place right now. I guess I should have let Black Label cook a little bit more before I had my rant because they're literally on all of the variety shows that I like, the YouTube shows that I watch right now.
Maybe that's what we need to do going forward. Just
Just
have Doug rant, and then magically it'll get solved within the week.
But the songs this week: KATSEYE, Gnarly, RIIZE, Bag Bad Back. I hate that name still. I don't know why. We could just call it Bag Bag Bag. And we got Love Language. I'm gonna get the graphic up. Yeah, so I think this song's bad, but I think it's a 3. So I'm not gonna go along these word descriptions, which I think are always loose anyway. I think that's those things that I mentioned are just like irredeemable, particularly the lyrics. I just can't. Like, I don't know.
I think that's fair.
Anita, how about you?
That's fair. See, I was between a 4 and a 3.
Okay.
And
Wow.
the more I learned about like the context of the song and like KATSEYE as a group and like how it might be a little like contradictory in a way, the less I liked it, to be honest.
Oh shit. Okay.
Damn.
Like I understand. Like I don't think there's like one entity to like blame for like how it came out and why it kind of missed a mark for some people, at least for me. But I think it's a 3.
Damn. How could you give this a 3, Anita? Isn't this
think-
your
well,
first
I'm
3?
going- I think
Yeah,
so.
it
Yeah.
definitely is.
I mean, just going by the description, I think I would skip this song.
I wouldn't skip it. I wouldn't skip it. It's such a train wreck. I gotta watch it. Dude.
All right.
I would watch the performance. I don't know if I would listen to it. Yeah.
I have given out multiple 3s in the past. I have given out 2s in the past. 3 is a skip. 2 is a bad. 1 is a terrible. 0 is not music.
Yeah, but none of those are like hard definitions.
True.
Right. They're loose.
The thing with this track in particular is that it feels like none of I think whatever appeal point you try to pull at me, it doesn't work. It's not. I can't take this seriously. I can't take this as comedy. I can't take this as satire. The only thing I can take this as is a marketing ploy. It's all it is. It's not. It's all it's doing is taking up the channels, filling up the channels, and people not talking about shit that actually matters. You know what I mean? Like this is. I don't know. This is.
Isn't all of K-pop a marketing scheme though?
Sure, but like we get some good music out of it. We get some good entertainment
Okay.
value. I don't know. I have to admit this is some of the worst stuff we've ever covered on the show. This is a 1.
Okay, I could agree. It's a 1. God damn, terrible.
Ooh.
Yeah. So Warren, you're gonna say this is in your candidates for top 5 worst songs of the year, right? Which I think this fits that description.
Sure, of all time, maybe. Like, yeah.
If it's of all time, that's a 0, dude.
Well,
you don't know yet. You don't
I don't
know
know
yet.
yet. You know what? This layer might be a shittier. So yeah. Let's give it a 1. Let's give it a 1. Let's give it a 1. I don't know about a 0.
Because I've always told people that's kind of the guideline. Just letting you know.
All right,
We'll leave it at a 1. So this Nation and Gochu King voted. On day 1, this song averaged a 0.89 or 0.86
Damn.
on day 1. That was
It's
like
gotten
after the
better.
first like 4 hours of the song. It's gotten better over time.
Okay.
2.83 is where it settled.
All right.
Yeah.
What does that bring our
As-
average to?
As a result, our average score is a 2.46.
Damn.
Ah.
I just want to add that I have seen multiple people on the internet from various channels who genuinely like the song. And if it works for you, if you're one of the people to like get it, I'm happy for you.
Go with it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I hope
Yeah.
you have a really good run with this group and this comeback. It's just
I like this group.
I'm
love
just
this
sad I
group.
can't be with you guys.
I'm a KATSEYE fan too, dude. I watch like a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. This is a little.
They're very
disappointing.
talented. Yeah.
All right,
no question on
RIIZE.
that.
Bag, bad, back. I was coming into the show. I was gonna give this like a 7, but I'm gonna give it a 6.
Oh.
It's a fun song. I just think like as a RIIZE song, my expectations were a little higher. I don't think there was any like iconic moment either than the bag, you know? Yeah. How about you, Anita?
I'm also gonna give it a 6. I think it's quite nice still. It's a pre-release, so that makes sense. The bridge was nice. The vocals were good on the bridge, but it's a 6.
Look at us. We have a full Satan today. I have a 6 as well. I thought it was pretty good. I there was some stuff I didn't like about it, but like, you know, I think it's passable. I still think it's a fun song. I wouldn't skip it if it ever comes on a playlist.
All right. As a result, the SojuTalk Nation and Gochu Gang also gave it a 5.30, which feels a little low to me.
Damn.
Normally, we're a little bit below the SojuTalk Nation, but you know that's what the score they gave them. And as a result, 5.83. All right. And then finally, we have TXT Love Language. I like this one more than the RIIZE track. I thought it was very pleasant, nice. I'm giving this one a 7.
I also have a 7. I thought it was really nice. Also, the vocals are really high, but also are very
nice way.
clear.
Yeah, in
they're
a nice
very
way.
pure in a way. I liked it.
Wow. Guys, we are lining up very well today. I also have a 7.
777?
777 in the house. Jackpot.
That's one of my lucky numbers is 777. Damn.
Dang.
I just thought the beat was so fun. The members delivered a really fun performance. But I don't know. Something about the beat just really had me just bumping, you know? Just a good time.
Yeah.
SojuTalk Nation Gochu Gang voted. They gave it a 6.40. Honestly, a little kind of low scores for this. Would be one of the lowest weeks ever for them too.
Yeah.
And as a result, it receives a 6.85, which is a commendable score, honestly. So our Soju scores this week:
good.
KATSEYE Gnarly with this gnarly ass 2.46. If we think about it, right? If the Hall of Spice threshold is a 7.3, right? This song would technically make the Hall of Poo Poo on the other end.
Oh no.
I think that's
'Cause
fair.
you need
Yeah.
Well,
You would need to get below a 2.7.
I mean,
right, on
are we
paper.
surprised?
I guess we're not. RIIZE, Bag Bad Back got a 5.83, and then TXT Love Language with a 6.85. And finally, we're at show winner. Anita, hit us with them.
yes, singular, because To Us with Countdown swept all of the music shows. So the show, Show
6.
Champion, and Countdown Music Bank, Show Music Core, Gigayo,
Wow.
all of them. 6 total
Hey.
wins so far.
Wow.
I looked up a factoid. This is the first sweep of all 6 music shows when all of the shows were on, right? Since May 2023, when we had 2 songs sweep in that month.
Wow.
First, in the second week of that month, we had La Seraphim Unforgiven, and then in the 4th week of that month, we had G-Idol Queen Card. That was back in May 2023 is the last time a song has swept all 6 music shows in 1 week.
That's a long time. Wow.
Yeah.
Time. All right,
Congrats
that
to
is
them.
part 2. So just like episode 327, we'll be back with some news and events from the past week. Boom.
Hello, SojuTalk Nation. This is Anita here with a quick PSA. If you would like to support SojuTalk Kpop Podcast, please like, subscribe, or follow us on whatever platform you're using. And consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/SojuTalk or donating to us at paypal.me/SojuTalk. On behalf of the crew and myself, thank you. Now back to our regularly scheduled episode.
We are back at it, part 2 of SojuTalk episode 327. We're going to talk about the news and events from the past week. Not a ton of news, but the first one. It is official. China is expected to lift the Korean cultural content ban this month after imposing the ban 9 years ago because of that dad thing. This will affect the distribution of Korean media in the country, such as K-pop and dramas.
Wow.
Hey, this might have been due to the diplomatic relationships between the East Asian countries because of the tariff situation in the United States. This might be one of the results of it.
Well, for in a very rare moment in history, Korea, China, and Japan came together to talk positively about economic partnerships a couple months ago. So
and this is one of those things.
Yeah,
I'm gonna guess.
Yeah.
And people are saying if they allow open sales of albums to China, it's gonna be in another renaissance for the album sales. They think
It's gonna be Party 2.0.
Also, the concerts are gonna start going nuts in China as well.
Man. How the tables have turned.
Hey, already, Epix will be the first K-pop idol with all Korean members to hold a solo concert in China in 9 years.
Wow.
Since that ban in 2016. They're already booking concerts. We're already booking them.
Okay.
Wow, it's happening.
It's happening. That's pretty cool, right?
That's
so
cool,
yeah, it's already gonna happen. Let's go. Next, so G Idol has rebranded their social media name to Idol. Idol. So we're just gonna call them Idol going forward. If I get it wrong, I apologize, but they are now known as Idol straight up. In Korea, though, they've been calling themselves Idol for a long time. So
the thing is, that thing that's like confusing to me is like all their musical platform names are still G Idol to me, like Spotify, Apple Music, that sort of thing.
Yeah, we don't have the most knowledge about why this is, but in some things they've stated like we felt like the G was too limiting for us. You know, we want to be bigger than just being girls, things like that. I get that. So what happened after that was they started to release a trailer type thing, right? And if you look at this emoji over here, right? It's 5 points of a 6, like an asterisk, which has 6 points. So everyone, the internets blew up for a second. Everyone think is Soojin coming back, right? That was the first thing everyone was you can't hear my audio. Cool. I got scared for a second because I was trying to find the logo in this. Maybe it's not in this. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
On that screen, you see that 5-pointed thing when there could be 6?
Idol with the
yeah, so everyone was thinking, oh shit, is Soojin coming back? Turns out, no is the answer. Not only no, so here we go. G Idol has officially changed their name to Idol. They dropped the girl and the G from the group name, which had previously been used as girls, so G Idol. In doing so, they reassert their identity of the group that cannot be defined by girls or any other gender. At the same time, they have also removed the parentheses, a symbol used to distinguish or emphasize one part from another, and are expected to showcase more limitless music and concepts. So it's this thing over here, which people were talking about. Is Soojin coming back? Turns out, no, internet made that up. They're releasing all of the songs again that Soojin was on, but they're going to release Idol version with just the remaining members.
Oh,
Interesting.
Yeah, well, people were not happy about this, by the way.
Kind of the opposite, I guess, of what people wanted then.
I don't know, but that's what they're doing.
What I will say is like the reason the G was in the parentheses explained by Soyeon in one of her concept explanations was that they want to be seen as kids, like they are girls, but they're also just kids, just either, you know, that was their concept. And I don't think it really fully got communicated thoroughly, because like even in Korea, everyone used to say 여자 아이들, 여자 아이들, 여자 아이들, and they would introduce themselves as idol, but everyone else would say 여자 아이들 because it's the
I called them G Idol for 8 years or however long they've been around.
Right, because like the letters in the name, we're not gonna just ignore it even if it's in the parentheses. You know what I mean? So like I think this is good. They're doubling down on the concept of what they wanted to run with in the beginning. The whole thing with Soojin, I don't know that. Yeah.
Also on one of the things, like, you know, that asterisk on the missing part, there was a coffin on one of the images. So people thought like, oh, she's coming back from the dead, right? No. And then the people are coming. Wait, so the coffin is the member they kicked out?
Damn.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I saw the trailer. I interpreted the coffin imagery because it has a G on the coffin. I think it was more of like we're moving on, we're
Yeah,
putting
rest
away
in
that
peace, the G, right?
G
Yeah.
thing, right?
But
I don't think it was meant to be
they
a
they they
reference to
could have
Sujin,
foreseen what people would have thought, though.
but
Maybe that's just me.
yeah.
But yeah, so that's the reality. They got rid of the G. Now they're called Idol. That's what we're gonna call them going forward.
Okay.
Hopefully, I'll do that. All right, let's keep going. Next, Hype. In a new press release reporting Hype's financial results for Q1, the company confirmed the new boy bands in Japan and Korea. So YX labels will debut Aeon in June, and Big Hit Music, highly anticipated boy group recognized for their next generation creativity, will debut in Q3.
Oh.
So we're getting a new boy band, Korean boy band at a minimum from Hype. That's pretty cool. They probably seen,
Right.
Day6 is killing it right now. We need some money in this as well, right? I think that's probably what they're gonna get at. What happened for Hype?
Oh.
Next, so Rose is a part of the artist lineup for F1 the movie, which will be out on June 27th, right? There's
a
other
movie?
people on here like Ed Sheeran, we got Doja Cat, Ray, Tiesto, Madison Beer. These are all pretty big names. So Rose is on this list.
Really,
And
it really feels like we're trying to do what Barbie did with the Barbie movie album back in the day. Remember that? With
yeah,
like,
this is gonna be a big movie, by the way. I heard it's 2.5 hour run length, and Brad Pitt is the main character of this movie.
I did not know of this.
damn.
And Javier Bardem is also in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So this is my pivot to F1. Number one, I'm a big fan of F1, especially this year. We're doing a fantasy league on the server, so I'm involved in it. It's been exciting so far. So Rose waved the checkered flag at the sprint race this weekend in Miami. So the Miami Grand Prix was this weekend, which just means they did the racing in Miami this week. And Rose waved the flag as a part of the mini race in the beginning of the weekend. So Rose was there. Everyone was like, "Who's this girl?" And everyone commented, unlike other people who they invite to wave the flag, she looked very happy to be there. Because some people don't look too happy, but Rose was having a great time.
Good.
So yeah,
That's nice.
so Rose was there waving the flag. Cool. Boom. It seems like she got invited by Mercedes, because she was in their garage.
Ooh.
So she was there at the start of the weekend. In the second half of the weekend, Lisa showed up. She waved the flag last year at the race.
Oh.
So she was here, and she was in Team Ferrari. Invited her, so she was in the Ferrari garage. There's her talking to
Nice.
8-time world champion Lewis Hamilton. So boom. Also, Rose and Lewis Hamilton made a YouTube collab video last year where they had like an interview with each other, so they know each other already as well.
For just for context, who is Lewis Hamilton?
Lewis Hamilton is one of the GOATs of Formula One alongside Michael Schumacher. And he's an 8-time drivers world champion.
Wow.
So he's an 8-time champion, which I think is tied, or it is the most, something like that. It's like the highest. So
Okay.
he's one of the GOATs of
Wow.
sport. Yeah.
Okay.
He has 7 world championships, but I say they screwed him, so that's why I say he has 8. So
Okay.
he actually has 7.
I'm not gonna open that
Um,
can of
so-
worms.
I want to pivot some more because more Blackpink girls. Jenny at the Met Gala. This is happening like right now.
Yep.
As we're recording
Ooh.
this.
Yep.
We got Jenny at the Met Gala. Look at this nice outfit.
Ooh,
Awesome.
It's very nice.
And then Lisa flew from Miami, also at the Met. Look at this outfit. She looks
Wow.
great. Wow. Look at this.
Oh.
Look at this makeup and
Okay.
hairdo.
I
Awesome
love
from
the
Lisa.
top.
Also wanted to mention. So Lewis Hamilton, I guess he's collecting the Blackpink Infinity Stones. He's also at the Met Gala. So he went from racing yesterday and he flew up as well. So this
Nice
guy
suit.
met Rose,
Alright.
Lisa, and Jenny probably in the past like 2 to 3 days. So shout out to Lewis again. And then finally the other K-pop person there, Scoops, looking like a Jedi over here.
Oh, look at that
He's
Scoops.
there as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's K-pop representation at the Met Gala.
The theme this year is supposedly super fine. That's the word ran with. It's supposed to be like black and white as far as I can understand. So
I like these outfits we've seen from these people. I
Yeah.
really like Lisa's. I thought it was great.
I've also heard that the theme is also in connection to like dandy style. So like a lot of the black community dandy style, tailoring and that sort of thing. Which I think makes sense when I was looking at Jenny's outfit, but everybody does it a little differently. So
Cool. All right, let's
Cool
keep
stuff.
going. So, Islet's Yuna and Minju confirmed to feature on Kylie Cantrell's new single "See You Tonight." This is a random collab that's happening.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay, that's happening.
Good on them.
Next thing we got, so Red Velvet Yeti is confirmed to start with Blitzway Entertainment. So we had speculated about this last week. Blitzway is it's like an action figure company, but they also have an acting department in it. So
Interesting.
he's in that section. Yeah, if you look up their Namawiki, the entire top half is action figures. And then if you go towards the bottom, there's a list of the actors that are also in the studio.
But they do have some, like, this is not a small company by any means. They have some big
No.
names under here. Like, they have Ju Ji-hoon, they have Chun Woo-hee, like, they got some big names. Like, they have So Hyun. Yeah, man. Okay. Yeah.
But people are saying, like, she's going to this company. It's probably just going to be acting. They don't think she's going to be doing music. 'Cause this company doesn't really do music. So, but let's keep going though. So, Jung Eun-ji has finally left IST Entertainment. It's been a hot minute.
wow.
This is the
Okay.
original. This is the IST is the current iteration of the label that A-Pink debuted under. So she's been there the entire time. So she is leaving that agency. Everyone does not like IST Entertainment. They think it's a shitty
Yeah.
company. But they're gonna spread her wings and go elsewhere. Next thing, Kang Won is leaving 8D Entertainment, signing with Peace Entertainment. When's the last time we saw Kang Won, dude?
Oh,
It's been
what is
a
she up to
while.
these days? Yeah.
She's been doing some web dramas, I believe.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right.
I saw her on
Okay,
a
let's-
Dolphiner ad a while back where she was like screaming at somebody that was like stalking her.
Go Young Pyo.
Yeah,
I think.
고경표, yeah.
Those were funny commercials. I saw
I
that
know.
as well. We got Baekhyun World Tour. He's going like
Ooh.
everywhere, dude. He's
Oh.
going Korea,
Proper world tour?
South America, North America, Europe, Australia, Asia, dude. He's going everywhere, this guy. This is a crazy. From June to November, he's pretty much touring constantly.
Wow.
That should be pretty cool for him. It's a lot of dates to do that.
Real quick, just a plus one on Jung Eun-ji's whereabouts. She's apparently joining Billions Entertainment. It's primarily looks like a acting label. She's gonna be joining Ko Chang-seok. There's a long list here. I don't know actors too well, so seems like she's still going to be very well supported in terms of
Good.
yeah.
Nice. They also have singers here. There's like Jo Boa from I forgot what group she's from.
Isn't Jobo an actress?
Wait,
Yeah.
never mind. I'm wrong.
I don't think they have any
Never mind.
musicians here. I think
I was
she's gonna
talking
be
about someone
acting,
else.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe
Okay.
she is. All right, let's keep going. P Nation announced Hwasa tour in Europe. If you want to see Hwasa, she's coming to Paris, Berlin, London, Frankfurt, Warsaw, and Amsterdam.
Nice.
That should be pretty cool. I like this poster. And then we got Stacy, North American tour
Ooh.
coming to New York. Stacy, Stacy girls, it's going down.
Mm.
So that should be pretty exciting for them. And then we got the first lineup of KCON LA. Although we don't like KCON because they're not coming to New York anymore. Roy Kim for some reason, 17 H&W, Youngji, P1 Harmony, Gravity, JO1, IVE, NMIX, Zero Base 1, Issue, Isna.
Well, okay.
All right.
IVE seems like gonna be the big name here, right? These IVE and NMIX are like the big
Maybe.
names.
I
right
think
now.
so. Yeah. And well, Zero Base one as well.
Oh yeah, these three.
Yeah.
And we're probably gonna get a Youngji, maybe Yujin collab thing. We might, right? They are very related. Okay.
Okay.
The last thing is a quick spoiler to the Starship competition show thing. The new kids, as they're calling it. So they announced the name. It's called I Did is the name of the group.
I did.
Which means I did it.
Okay.
Finally, I made it. That's what it stands for.
I did.
Is that really a group name you want to run with?
Yeah, I did. And the spoiler now. So skip ahead for like a minute if you don't want to see this. Though they announced the kids who are in the group, right?
It's over.
So-
Okay.
Oh,
So here are the kids in the group. It's not like a humongous group. It's an 8-member group. So this is what the group is going to be. I'm not going to name all the names, but they're from between
Right.
17 and 16 and 20 years old. So, the age ranges make sense. Here are the kids that are going to be in I Did. Starship's
Okay.
new boy
You
group.
look young.
all right.
They look very young.
Yeah.
And that's all the news I got. Some of these dudes look really similar. These two. Holy crap. It's the same kid. Goddamn.
Nah, one of them has brown hair, the other has black.
Okay.
Totally different.
And then this kid looks similar too. Goddamn.
Congrats to them. They
Congrats
Congrats, I
to them.
did.
Yeah.
Yay. All right, Warren. Pivot us into the
All
after
right.
hour segment.
Transition. Hi. Doug wanted to ask something before we actually started
Yeah, I
recording
don't want
this
to.
section.
Don't yell at me in the comments. Rose was also at the Met Gala. It
How
happened like 10 minutes.
dare
ago.
you? How dare you
sorry.
forget about our
Hey,
queen?
she's my bias in the group, dude. She's my bias in the group.
I'm not gonna lie, I like her outfit the best out of the three.
Nah, I like Lisa's, dude.
Really?
I'm a fan of Lisa's.
Lisa looks great too. They all look great. Okay. Here's what's going on, right? Here's a post I ran into on Reddit this week on r/Kpop heads. Do you guys know what that is?
Yep, I read it.
Yeah.
It is mostly a circle jerk meme thread. Meme subreddit on K-pop Reddit. If you look at this meme here, clearly we're all distracted by this queen of a track Gnarly that we forgot about wife and Joppin. Let me just scroll down real quick. I can't scroll down for some reason. Oh, there you go. Just like, I was like, there are so many terrible tracks in K-pop, but there are a couple terrible tracks in K-pop that stuck with us through the ages and have become
These are
generational memes. You know what I mean?
These are generationally what are considered bad songs, not like the worst song ever. Because people on our server were pulling up some shit I've never heard, and I was like, yeah, this is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life, but I've never heard of it. Right?
Yeah.
These are the ones you've heard of.
Like, I agree with you guys. Mazel Tov by Zia is a terrible song, but I can't compare that to Joppin', you know what I mean? Like, we're on a different playing field here.
It's like SojuTalk era bad songs.
Yeah.
That's also kind of what it is.
okay.
Recent
Yes.
era
We're-
K-pop bad
Yeah,
songs.
recent era.
So I pulled out 8 of my favorite terrible tracks.
Okay.
Some of the tracks that didn't make the cut, Vampire by IZ*ONE, I really wanted to add it, but Doug was like, get that shit out of here. I don't want the
Get that shit
vampire
outta here.
fangs on the screen. We don't want it.
Buenos Aires might have been worse than that one, dude.
Oh, really? Dude, Vampire, I feel like is a hit. Hit Ya by La Pillas was another one I had to cut.
My
Somebody's
hip is like a wagon. Yeah, let's go.
But okay, you have some 8 beautiful tracks. We're gonna pick the worst of them all.
So we're not unironically, like not as a meme's the worst one, but we're just gonna pick the actually worst one.
I mean, let's keep this light and fun. We don't want to.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Let's not try to actually shit on the fucking song.
Okay.
So here's a disclaimer. We're just doing this for fun. We don't
Yes.
hate artists that show up here. I'm gonna be
Oh no.
we already know that Idol and Super M is gonna be here. We love Super M, we love Idol, we love KATSEYE. We're just doing this for fun. Please be nice to us. I think that's pretty straightforward, yeah?
Yeah, let's go.
It's
All right, let's
fun.
go.
It's for fun.
Round 1, fight. We have.
Who do we have?
All right,
We have ad blocker. We
All
have
right,
ad
I need to
blocker.
verify that I'm a human. Give me 1 second. Verify you're a human. All right. Round 1,
Oh,
we
yeah.
have Gang Bahrain versus Gnarly
Oh,
by
what?
KATSEYE.
Wow, this could have been the final,
No,
dude.
this
should have been the
is
final.
hard.
Okay.
Man, right off the bat.
I think Gang is way worse than Gnarly.
Elaborate.
Okay.
Okay.
For context,
Context.
Rain released Gang as the accompany track to when he was a judge on The Unit, which was a competition show back in the day.
Wait, there was
Right.
media context to Gang?
Yes, there's media
What?
context to Gang, and it adds to why I think this is the worst track.
I had no idea.
At one point, the kids in one of the week's challenges, if you won, you got to be backup dancers for his music show stage of Gang.
Oh, dude, that changes everything.
Oh, they did.
And there's clips of him yelling at the kids during the practice that they're not taking it seriously enough because I'm an artist and this is my art.
I didn't know this.
Oh,
That's why I think Gang's the worst shit ever, because you could tell the reason why I think Gang is the worst after, because the meme blew up like a couple years later, right?
Yeah.
But during the time, you could tell that he thought this was the hottest shit ever. And it's so cringy. And I remember watching the show with my family, and we said, is it just me or is this song ass? And it was ass.
So it's a little bit of a lack of awareness that adds to that.
He thought this was the shit, dude.
Oh.
If you Google
Man.
Rain, or if you go to YouTube and type Rang Gang the Unit, I'm not talking about now, but at home,
Okay.
you can find him yelling at these kids about this song.
Dang.
Well, I feel bad for the kid now.
Like, the initial scene is day 7 before the performance. That's how long they practice for this shit, dude.
Oh my god. The only context I can provide with Gang is that it is still a very relevant meme in Korea. Like, it's like, this person has 130,000 won in their bank account. How good for them! Like,
in that video, he straight up yells at them. You think this is a joke? Yada yada yada. Like,
And it did become a bit of a joke.
yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know. It was sort of sad, but also humbling to see this huge pop star of a man become a meme within a span of
you know it killed him though.
Yeah. I'm glad he came around to like accepting it eventually, and he did have a good media run with it. He went on to do Saksuri and all that, but it is kind of difficult to take Rain seriously as a musician at this current state. I'm sure he'll come back eventually and we'll talk about him again, but for now, I feel like the momentum has significantly been memeified. With KATSEYE and Gnarly, like, as much as the three of us shat on the song, what I've also come to learn that there are fans who like the song.
Yeah, I get that. I get it.
Yeah, like,
I just don't, but I get it.
I get it.
Gnarly's gonna
I
be
get
a
it, but I
great
don't
meme.
get it, but yeah.
Gnarly's gonna be a great meme, but Gang is like another tier of meme that like I cannot. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
It's
go
the dance
watch
for me.
go watch
It's
the
the
video
dance.
on KBS World that has the behind the scenes footage of him yelling at these trainees about they're not taking this seriously enough when he's trying to do this dance with them, dude. It's insane. To watch.
Anita, talk to me more about the dance of Gang.
So I
It's so
think
bad.
to me the dance became the meme because the way that it's performed. So there's this move where he kind of like drops, like he does like a side drop into like a slide on the floor.
Oh, I
Yeah,
wanted
the
to use
slide
that
on-
image so bad. Oh my god, yeah.
And that's where I saw the meme where like people were trying to like imitate this dance, but it's just really odd and a little awkward, and the way it happens in the song, it's like meant to be like a drop, like a beat drop or something. Like it starts and then you literally drop on the floor. But it's hard to make it look cool because it's just an odd move. I don't know. I think that coupled with like some of the musical choices that felt a little dated. I felt like the outfit, the styling also felt a little.
You know what else is
dated.
terrible? Not only in the music video, but also on the stage with the contestants, he makes them wear the rain hats. That has
Oh
his
my
name on it.
god, no.
Like, look even in this picture, you could see them wearing the rain hats, dude. It's so cringy.
That is, oh my god. Oh.
Yeah.
I
It's
guess
memorable.
I guess the thing with Gnarly is that it's just a KATSEYE track and KATSEYE doing KATSEYE. With Rain, now I know that he went on to
With Rain, you-
inflict
you-
the
with
damage
Rain,
to so many
With
people.
Rain, before it became a meme, you could tell he thought this was the best thing ever. And this was around the time when he showed off his new company and his seat at the conference table was a throne. Like, All this
Wow.
combined. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I don't like Rain. I think his old stuff is great, but I've always been the type that felt he has such a big ego. And I was so happy when he got pushed down a couple pegs during the memification of this song.
I vote Gang by Rain.
Gang's worse. Cat's Eye at least is
Yeah.
like ironically funny sometimes. This Gang thing, it's unredeemable, I think.
No, I think it's the funniest shit there is.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Gang by
As long as
Rain.
you don't take it seriously. Don't take it
Gang by
seriously.
Rain progresses to the quarterfinals. All right, next round we have verification that I'm a human. Again, that's weird. Okay, round 2 we have Wife by G Idol and OO by NMIX.
Ooh.
I-
That's okay. I have a pick. I have a pick.
I have a pick. I still have very clear, vivid memories of discussing OO with Anita back in the day. Doug wasn't there. Doug was doing his thing with his family, so I forget.
No,
what
he
what
was not. But
Yeah.
it was a rant.
It was a fucking
It was a
rant.
long
I
one.
had visual aid explaining the song structure. And like ever since then, like, okay, I have IRL friends. Surprisingly,
Holy shit.
I have real friends, and like they're like, so you do this fucking podcast. How long have you been doing this podcast? It's like fucking I'm on episode
Years?
320 something, so like 6, almost 7 years, and they're like, wow. I don't think I've ever done anything for 6-7 years. I'm like, yeah, yeah, and they're always like, what's the best and worst song you've covered on the show? And one of the songs that always gets brought up is OO by NMIX. And they're like, but NMIX, they're so fun. They're good kids. They're so funny. And I'm like, have you heard of OO? And they're like,
Debut.
they're like, no.
debut.
They're always like, no, I've never heard of OO. What is OO? So I sit,
a reason for
I
that,
bring them
maybe.
to my apartment. I have them sit in front of the fucking couch. And I'm like, watch. And I play them the song. And they're like, what is going on? What is going on? It is
Yeah.
I unironically like OO.
nah, no.
I love
I
the
still-
popcorn and zero Coke joint, bro. Come on, it's classic. The
It's just-
leg bazooka on the tank, man. Come on, classic scenes. Shook,
I feel like
shook. Ginny.
There's also, if I'm comparing the two songs, right, like Wife and OO, one was meant to be a little like we said, like a little bit
Campy.
like more serious, and the other
Yeah.
one is more campy, more self-aware a bit. Where I feel like OO was trying to be like groundbreaking, like very like new and like and structurally interesting, but it ended up being a bit confusing, a little bit I don't know, like we were
Yeah.
trying to figure out like why certain choices were made and if it actually was necessary. And after that, they changed a bit. They restructured how they wanted to do the mix, the unmixed sound. I don't know. It was an interesting song. Whereas Wife is just fun. I think it's fun. It's a little
you-
odd. It's a little campy.
Did you know they performed it this week? Wife.
Really?
It was
Where- wow.
performed
Where?
At
Oh,
their
really?
backup dancer's wedding.
Oh,
Oh,
That's-
that's fun.
it's not really a song I would want at a
Exactly.
Wedding?
Exactly.
Personally.
They performed it at the wedding. You can look it up. There's footage
Oh,
of it.
that's true. The lyrics.
She cooks cream soup, loco moco. You know?
I think with Wife, they definitely were trying to portray a social message, regardless of how you feel about the delivery or like the meaning behind it and that. I agree with Anita here. Like OO was meant to be taken seriously, and it fell flat. Wife had a silly aspect to it, and we were like having fun with it. You know what I mean? I definitely think that I have gone back to OO and I've been like, there are parts to this that I would like, and I still think it would be a lot more redeemable if it was 2 songs. But I mean, alas, it pushed me into it. It released itself as 1 track and asked me to take it seriously, which I could not. I still can't. So shook shook wook wook. I have to vote for OO here. Really.
Look at Lily's face in this photo, dude. She's struggling out here with this. She's struggling holding up Kyujin's bazooka leg, dude. Let's pick Oh. It's definitely worse than Wife.
All right. Oh progresses to the next round. We have round 3. Nature's Rika Rika versus Mafia in the Morning by ITZY. Okay.
A lot of the kids talk about ITZY Sneakers being the shit song, right? That's what you could see it in memes a lot. I think it started with Mafia in the Morning though. This
at least for at least for our show, like we were very turned off with In the Morning. Yeah. The thing with In the Morning, a big part of the reason I think it did sort of well in the States, but terribly in Korea, was this was the song where the lyrics are very terrible. And I've seen a lot of memes about how like American people, English speakers are finally getting to understand how Korean people feel when listening to K-pop and with the terrible lyrics, I've seen people say that. And I think most K-pop has better lyrics than Gnarly, but In the Morning by ITZY, we're at a similar caliber with this one.
Hey, JYP made this one. It's a JYP song.
Say less, Mr. Park. Please don't.
On the other side, we have Nature Rika Rika. So I mention this one all the time, but like I honestly feel a little bad about this one.
Same.
Because this is the result of a company thinking like, we're kind of effed. Let's throw some things at the wall and see what happens.
That's okay.
Like, yeah, Trot's kind of big right now. Let's see what we can do.
If I'm completely honest, we swapped out some of the other songs for Rika Rika last minute. I didn't want to cover Rika Rika in this World Cup because like Nature's they were a small group from a small company running with low funds. Like this is not a fair comparison at all. That being said, like I don't know, it felt bad.
It's pretty bad, dude. It's bunky and terrible.
I just felt bad. Yeah.
And they're jumping on dirt, and there's like in this horse place, this equestrian facility, and there's like dirt going all over the place with this one.
Yeah. I felt
it's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a one setter. Like this is it. This is the only set we got, essentially.
And like I understand the choreo pulls from traditional dance of I think it was another southeastern culture. I'm so sorry, I forget. It's been a minute with Rika Rika. And so I understand that there's cultural context there. It's just the song itself wasn't. Yeah. On the other hand, In the Morning is definitely not any better than Rika Rika, and the fact that it came from a fully fledged actual big 3 level company, that still beats my head. Yeah.
ITZY was a pretty good big group still at the time it was released.
I looked it up. It was inspired by the African traditional dance Zuli.
African traditional. I am so sorry.
I mean, no, but still, I feel like the argument of ITZY being like they had the resources, the production team, and like the music video is also like still pretty high quality choreography and everything, but the lyrics.
No, this was just like JYP thinking he's can do everything right, and it just was bad.
I mean,
and then the thing is, it just kind of ruined their trajectory, like pretty harshly.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you. Like this is what really shifted the trajectory for me with ITZY, because like Loco dropped after this. It was Loco and Swipe, and the vibes were different. I don't know, like it was off, and I understand. Okay, this is where I started to change how I talk about concept changes on the show, because for a very long time I was like, yeah, you have to do a concept change, and I still say that to a certain degree, but now I've come to realize the risk it carries. Like,
what's on the other side?
Like, yeah, like you could shift the concept and do something fucking jack shit terrible, and then you end up with this where your whole trajectory is off, and like. ITZY still sells, and they still have a good following. It's just the growth trajectory has been kind of concerning the last couple of years. And don't get me wrong, there has been a lot of good stuff that came out afterwards, but either between this and Sneakers, I just have to admit the vibes are off.
It also ruined everyone's perception of like with this type of song and the type of music ITZY does. They just feel like an older group now relative to all the young kids that are running around right now.
Yeah,
they just feel like an older group, and I don't know why. It just aged them a lot. So I'm gonna pick. I think Rika Rika's a worse song, but I'm gonna vote for In the Morning here.
I same.
Mafia in the Morning.
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Shout out to Nature though. That was rough with that one.
All right. I'm gonna verify one more time that I am a person. I don't know why. All right. Round 4. We have
Oh no!
Sticker by NCT127 and Jopping by Super M.
No.
Oh.
I think one of these is worse.
Oh. I don't. Okay. Full disclaimer. I don't dislike these 2 songs. I don't know why they're on this list.
Okay. I mean, like these are like Joppin' and Sticker are like the K-pop heads memes.
Yeah,
like,
these are the
Really?
meme songs.
Yeah.
Yes, you know,
Really?
these are the most brought up meme songs. These 2.
Wow, I didn't know.
There's like so many copy pastas with like jumping, popping, we're dropping.
They call it pooping sometimes too. That one, you know. I've seen that.
Wow. I didn't know.
And the fucking 3rd grade recorder flute sounds with Sticker.
I think Sticker's worse. I think that I expected
okay.
Jopping was underwhelming because I expect, you know, with that they were building Exodia, they were building the Avengers with Jopping, and the song was like jumping and hopping, we jopping, and we're like, what the F is this shit, guys? What
It's
the F
really
did we
just that
do
line.
here?
It's just that line.
No,
was like,
okay,
what-
no,
what-
no, it's not. There are parts of the song where like it's just the instrumental, boom, 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 and then they just go drop in, dance, 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 drop in, and I'm like, no,
Is that bad? I was
But I
having a
think
good time with Jopping.
No, but I think it's okay. I think Sticker's ass, dude.
you know what? I don't hate Sticker. I really don't
I
I
hate
don't
hate
hate
Sticker.
Sticker either.
It's I understand it's not for everybody, but like it's. Someone said it's CBAT for women. Do you guys know what CBAT is?
What?
No, what's that?
Oh, you don't know CBAT, dog.
I know what it is.
It's
Oh, I know what. Okay, you know the name of that thing? I know the Reddit post about it.
yeah, everyone knows the song CBAT from the
I
Reddit
don't know the
post.
name of the song off the top of my head. That's from the. Okay, to sum up this in a sort of safe for work way, CBAT is a song that a guy on Reddit said I can only do the deed with my girlfriend listening to this song. It's ruining my relationship. Is this weird? And it was this song that was like the weirdest instrumental shit ever. Okay, so Anita, then, if you like Sticker, you think Jopping's worse?
I don't dislike either of them.
Well,
Okay.
you gotta pick one.
But-
That's how this works.
But I gotta pick one, I guess.
Okay, before Anita pick, Doug, which one did you pick?
Sticker. I hate that song.
See, okay, this actually makes it really good because I chose Jopping because of the meme
Yeah.
value it has brought to the community. I think like the impacts of these people being here together aside, the logistics of pulling these people together and then
the
your song
matchups
going
have been-
jumping and hopping.
Hey, Gnarly got off easy being against Gang, dude. Like, damn.
Yeah,
I got lucky with that matchup.
They really did.
I vote for Jopping.
I vote for Sticker.
Oh,
It's up to you, Anita.
well,
I hate the flute, dude.
to be honest,
Jumpin'
like let me
and
think.
poppin'.
How often have I come back to either of these songs? I think I've listened to Jopping more, like voluntarily. Like I had a better time with Jopping than with Sticker. Even though Sticker is still fine. I guess I wasn't the minority. I did not find the flute sample that grating. I thought the aesthetic was pretty cool in the music video. The vocals were really nice. Yeah.
It's
But
ass,
I'll pick
Anita.
I'll
It's
pick
ass.
Sticker.
It's the red flag in them joints' discography. It is what it is. All right. Are we choosing Sticker then?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sticker moves on to the quarterfinals. All right, let's run through these. All right, quarterfinals. We have Gang versus Oh.
Gang's worse.
Gang.
Cool.
By far.
Yeah.
Dang.
Gang's so much worse.
$1 billion.
I know it has redeeming, but it only has redeeming qualities because it came a meme. You know?
Yeah.
Inherently, it's
Ah.
just as.
All right, we got
This is a bigger discussion right here.
Sticker vs In the Morning. I think it's In the Morning.
I think
Sticker's
it's
worse.
so too.
I think it's In the
think
Morning.
mine's
What?
In the morning.
There,
I don't think
okay.
it's that.
There have been. I was in H Mart in K Town, 32nd Street. I went in the morning was playing. I put my AirPods in. Do I need to speak more?
I thought you were gonna walk out.
Okay, no, I needed my gochujang. That's what it is.
I don't think it's that bad. All right, but you guys picked it. You're gonna do Gang versus In the Morning. All right, be my guest.
All right, In the Morning moves to the next round. Final round. We're gonna verify that I'm a human one more time. And then
Last time.
In the Morning vs Gang. I think it's Gang.
Gang's worse.
Gang's
$3
worse.
bills.
Yeah.
Gang.
Please go on, look up the unit Gang, and you could see this man taking this shit like it's the most serious thing. Like this is the biggest release of his life. Is how it kind of feels. Like.
Did really this whole piece of context you have provided me with regarding the unit and Gang, it has shifted.
The reward was to be his backup dancer.
It has changed my perspective so much on Gang. So much.
Jane is a very intense man.
So now any inkling that you have of this, it was an ironic song, it's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's gone. He thought it was the shit.
All right, folks. It's official. It's real. The worst K-pop song in history is Gang or Gang.
No, not in history.
By
Not in
range.
history.
Era. Not in history.
All right. Are there any other terrible K-pop songs you want to shout out?
Actually, let's save this. I think one day we should do a show and tell and bring like a shitty or a song, like either a shitty song or a song you can't believe happened or like that they released. You know what I mean? One of those type of songs.
I have so many from like third generation, second generation with like lyrics that are like.
Oh, if we're opening up to that, like. Yeah,
bro.
there's some
Like,
stuff out there.
We should show and tell and bring something and be like, I can't believe this happened or this got approved, and then we'll bring it out. We should do that one day. That'd be kind of fun.
Okay. All right, we'll table that for another time. But until then,
no. This has been next week in terms of music. Kiss of Life after their controversy is coming back. Elas,
Okay.
Day 6, a Bloom debut. That is the Defector group from 50/50. They're debuting now.
wow.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
We have the Meow actual release, Triple S. So we got a lot of music.
Oh man, we're stacked.
Big names.
Yeah, we're stacked. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Bye everyone. Bye.
Bye. And here's an extra special shout out to all of our Fiesta Patreons on patreon.com. Bagel, Charles, Cotton Ball, Ellie, Gogu Mama, Honey Pools, Incoming Snail, Liam's Games and Toys, Natalie, NJ Parks, South Texas Once, Siu Sumi. And thank you for joining SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. Thank you, really.